Go Stars, go Mavs, go Rangers.
My disposition's like a hand grenade. Come pull the pin, we can celebrate. Feeling the love like a tooth decay. So full of pride that it nauseates. I got a focus and a mind like a prison. I play the hero and I wind up like the victim. Suppose I'm failing, it was never my decision. This is my vibe, but I'm headed for collision. I got a whip like a razor blade. Got an axe ready to invade. Money down, time to place your bets. I'm on fire, you think nothing yet. I got a hammer and a tourniquet. Sparked on my feet into the planet's head. Now they're open and they want to vet. I bleed them out if they don't repent. I'm on the move, where I never lived. Right, to live. I'm focused, but almost yesterday. Too much, you can't. Starting war, getting cold, all I call my military. I block, I swear.
I have always believed the road to excess leads to the palace of wisdom. I got it bent all the way over here.
Please make your voice be heard.
And I'm leaving society to move out to the country and smoke crystal meth with rednecks.
Maybe you have a differing opinion than us. Maybe we're completely wrong, and you are the one lone person in the world that is right.
That's why you're here tonight. Eventually, me and Dave Jarvis are going to Hollywood.
But guess what? Some of us are actually pretty friendly.
Yeah, but most of us suck.
Fine, upstanding young man. Fine, upstanding young man.
Smoke weed. Good evening, good evening. You can participate in the chats tonight by being in the comments. My name is Rick E. Warden. Let me take this off so we can say hi to each other. Below is Ariel, the singer of Against All Odds, and the genius of Existential, our other host, Dave Jarvis.
Dave.
Howdy, howdy. Well, everybody,
right.
it is the first day of
to
May.
the stage.
Yeah, bring him to the stage. Welcome, 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 Austin Young to the show.
Hey.
He's on mute.
Uh-oh.
How are you, Austin?
Welcome to the show, Austin. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you all doing?
Dope.
We are most excellent, sir. Currently, there are riots across the country, but really the big news is that Billie Eilish will not tour Texas. I know a lot of people out there are very heartbroken. I, however, am not one of them.
My granddaughter is fucking bummed, though. I will say that.
No. Actually, I don't actively listen to Billie Eilish. What was her main reason for not coming to Texas?
It's probably...
They never said, actually.
I know a lot of musicians personally don't travel to Texas, not because of political issues, but because so many of our venues are controlled by Ticketmaster and Live Nation, and they refuse to play to those venues.
I mean, all power to them.
Now
Just
into
like
the
we can't see 'em.
cartel.
Yeah.
It
I mean, I
sucks.
can see that, but also I can say as a person from Texas who has ventured to other states that are not Texas, if you speak to them like a Texan, they get freaked out by you. Like they think they think that you're one of the evil ones. And it's like, bro, there's like a bunch of us. We're all different.
That's for sure. I wonder why they think we're evil and crazy.
Our government
Well, I do know that they definitely freak out when I say y'all and howdy. Yeah, they don't like eye contact, I've noticed, and they get real wigged out if you like hold the door open for them.
Dude, I'm all about eye contact. I love just like
I love it.
Dude, as somebody that's originally from the north, it still fucking freaks me out when somebody's like looking directly in my eyes. I'm like, I don't know where to go with that.
It's a sign of disrespect if you don't. Like, if you're not making eye contact with somebody and you're having a conversation with them, it's fucking rude. Well, that's how we grew up.
That's a Southern girl for you right there. How about that charm?
Sorry.
No doubt. What part of the north are you from, Austin?
Born and raised Chicago. And then by way of DL in the last 15 years.
Oh,
okay.
What brought you
What
down?
inspired the move?
Originally, I was working for a news station, and then I got down to Texas to cover a story and met my wife the first day I moved here, and then just never left.
Dude, that's freaking beautiful.
Oh, yeah. We hated each other the first couple of months.
Never will.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I hated Alice in Chains until I gave him a chance. You in
Texas or you and your girl?
Oh, probably both at this point.
Now, what's special about tonight's show is that Austin will actually be giving us his info on the ska and pop punk scene of DFW. Normally, this show kind of focuses about metal, but I feel like expansion is the key. We either grow or we die. And I'm very curious about the ska and pop punk scene of DFW. Have you been associated with it from the beginning, or did you slowly work your way into it?
I slowly worked my way into it. My wife, Veronica Young, had a show called Hungover with V way back in the day, and she showcased every type of musician in the DFW area. And slowly but surely, I just kind of worked my way into it. But the punk scene in Dallas is giant, and it's one of the biggest in the country. And I'm proud to report that. Ska, on the other hand, we're still a very, very, very small niche market here, but hopefully that'll change.
Yeah, that does not surprise me, the ska thing. I would figure ska would be big like in Denton, but probably not in the overall scheme of things, around here anyway.
Oddly enough, a lot of the bands are coming out of Arlington and Fort Worth right now in the ska scene, which is kind of cool. It used to be specifically a Dallas thing, but you know, as prices are going up, there's a big move to the west, and I'm starting to see a lot more bands pop out that way.
Do you have a preference for how you like your ska? Are you more of like the crazy out of this world stuff like Madness, or what was the one?
I fucking bleed it either way. Yeah. I am white and black checkered all life. Like third wave is great, but we're experiencing a new thing called the fourth wave, which they're calling new tone. And I've got to say, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's kind of moving away from the hardcore ska-core punk scene into kind of a mix of ska punk and two-tone again. So we're getting more stuff through that's kind of reminiscent of the Toasters and bands of that era, like Catbite, Kill Lincoln, Jer. A lot of them are moving the scene forward. Here in DFW, we're very lucky. We've got two bands that I would say are really pushing the envelope for us, and that's Flipping the Combined Effort and Set the Tone. Obviously, we have a major player, Mr. Kingpin, who is formerly of Rude King back in the day, but Mr. Kingpin is actually big on the international scene as well as the local scene here.
Look at that. That is freaking awesome, man. And so is it more ska just is mostly focused on Fort Worth and Arlington, or have you seen waves in Dallas or Waco or Wichita Falls?
Okay, so I mean, obviously Austin has a really big scene. There is just more, I feel like more brass musicians there that are slowly making their way up north, which is awesome. San Antonio, Dallas have probably the biggest scenes in Texas for ska. But right now, I think we have a really big champion in DFW named Cool Chris. He runs the Ska Punk International label, and I would say he is single-handedly bringing the DFW and Texas ska scene to a wider out-of-state audience. Every year, he brings the label to different areas, and this year he is doing showcases in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Mexico, all over the place. So definitely check out Ska Punk International, because they are giving a lot of the local musicians chances that they've never gotten before here in Dallas.
Very cool, very cool. Now, do you think it's possible to accomplish ska without brass?
Yes, totally. We have a band right now in DFW called How's My Driving? And that's some of the members of the band Don't Star. Yeah. And they're more like a Sublime style California ska punk outfit. So definitely you're able to, I mean, Sublime really didn't have brass. And a lot of other bands are kind of coming around and don't have brass. Ska is definitely upstrokes, and there are certain elements that can be done without it. Personally, I love brass. There's something about going to a live show and having that brass section that just gives so much energy that you can't really find. Oh, Star Score? Star Score? Yeah, here we
Sorry.
go. There we go. But no, there we go. But yeah, so I do feel like that is why I love ska so much. Like, I used to play in death metal bands, and then ended up loving ska just randomly, went to a show and discovered it in my teenage years. And there's just something about it live that I feel like you can't get from other genres. But luckily, ska is starting to bleed into a lot of other genres. So if you're into metal, there's ska core, which is basically metal with brass instruments, which is pretty fucking rad. Ska punk, there's two-tone, there's all these different subgenres of ska, like punk and metal, that anybody that's into music can get into something.
Have you heard of the band called The Big News?
Yes, The Big News are pretty damn awesome.
My guitarist was in line somewhere at a show with them, and they're like, yeah, come join us in Oklahoma. We'll hop on a bill together. I was like, we are definitely not ska, but I'm totally down.
And that's the cool thing about ska. Like, I feel like I feel about this with all shows. If there are more than 3 bands on the bill, you're going to burn your audience out, especially if you have more than 3 bands and they're all the same genre. That I have found does burn audiences out pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's awesome when a punk band, a ska band, a metal band, a country band will all kind of merge on the same bill. It gives a great sense of variety, and you're not just playing to the same audience over and over. You're like merging audiences together.
I dig it.
See, man, that's why I miss the Warped Tour, because you'd have like Real Big Fish and Yellow Card and Hawthorne Heights playing alongside like Seven Dust and like Avenged Sevenfold, and you'd have these cross-pollinations. Be like, I didn't used to like the trombone, but now I kind of am in love with it.
Start using it in every song.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit much.
Funny story. My one of my first tours. So my babysitter growing up was Greg Tribbett, the guitar player for Mudvayne, when I lived in the Peoria area, and he actually introduced me to the Warped Tour back in the day and took me as like an outing one time in Chicago, and possibly that was my introduction to punk outside of metal.
That's cool.
Yeah, what's the scene like up in Chicago?
Yeah, he was my babysitter.
Oh my God. I keep trying to get my guitarist on here because he would love to have this conversation about ska with you, and he loves Mudvayne. He'd be like geeking out right now, but he's not answering. So
can I throw a question back to y'all? Like,
no.
No? All right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No.
I like asking all my guests in a way of like, what was like y'all's introduction to ska? Or what are your feelings on ska? Because it's like Marmite. People either love it or hate it.
I feel like
Well, with me, I was in high school, like right when No Doubt broke and Sublime broke, and then suddenly there was just this huge influx of like Real Big Fish and Guano Apes and stuff like that, and then like Blink 182 made punk popular amongst my friends and everything, and then it just kind of exploded, and you'd have like Phoenix, Texas, and Yellow Card, and then the emo started to come about, and then Fall Out Boy, and it was just this constant evolution of, oh, did you hear the new NoFX? Oh, did you hear the new MXPX? And
Yeah.
so basically, I wasn't as big into the ska and punk scene, but they had the prettier girls, so I just tried to make friends.
It's a nice way to put it. Just try to make friends with the pretty girls.
I feel like we need more girls because there are some shows I go to and it's nothing but sweaty dudes. So we're all inclusive. We love everyone. Please come. What about you, Rick? Can you take a minute to stop eating Cheetos or whatever it is? And
Who doesn't love a good dirty horn?
Exactly.
I like
Yeah,
you, Austin. I like you a lot.
I'm a big fan of the dirty horns, Austin. I really am. But I'm a real sucker for like lead guitar. And so heavy metal is always kind of my number one love music wise. But like I said, who doesn't love a dirty horn? And, I can enjoy some ska with the best of them for a while.
So if you're like really into metal, have you guys like checked out like ska-core at all, like Hans Gruber and the Die Hards, or kind of like Kill Lincoln kind of style stuff?
I listen to it into my bandmate's car. I'm like subliminally like thrown into all different kinds of genres with him. So
sounds like a good dude.
He's great. Dude, he would love you. I'm trying so hard to get his attention right now.
Well, tell him to get his ass on my show. I need guests, man.
Ska guests.
That's right. That's
How do I
the thing,
contact
everybody.
you?
If y'all didn't know,
Geek
the
out, man.
Austin Young Show.
Yes, it is very easy to get in touch with me, austinyoungshow.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the other bullshit that the kids are on now. I miss the days where you used to just be able to make a show, put it out, and people would listen to it. And now you got to like have a degree in marketing to get a follower.
Yeah, about that. I don't have a
Well,
degree
you
in
have a kind
marketing. I don't know
face,
where I was going with that.
so that's the next best thing.
Oh, for sure.
I saw that you all had the Infamous on recently. We played with a show with them not that long ago. They were surprisingly entertaining, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, they're veterans, man. They've been on it for 10-something years now. Oh, yeah, there it is. But yeah, you go there, all the links for all the shit, all my press, everything like that. And another crazy thing, I'll be adding it up there. The what?
Your favorite new podcast, everybody. There it is.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, email.
Award-winning podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Award-winning.
Yeah, I did. I was honored. I won the best podcast host at the Dallas Entertainment Awards this year. So that was pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was the only independent podcast that was nominated that didn't have the Observer or Dallas Morning News backing. So I was pretty proud of that one.
Damn, whose dick did you have to suck for that one?
No one's, Dave.
A lot of dick. There was a lot of dick to suck for that.
All right, now I know what I need to do this off season.
Yeah. So can I ask another question? Why do you hide behind a picture? Who hurt you? Why can't we see your face?
Life is pain, as Trent Reznor once taught me. No. The truth is, I move and I pace, and also I say a lot of inflammatory things, and I don't want people to like recognize me and then shank me.
You work for a bank secretly, don't you? You like work for one of the big five, right?
I do work for people that could get me arrested, absolutely.
I was just I watched the episode that y'all did with you guys have one of my favorite bands on there, Mean Motor Scooter. And
Cool.
so I was loving that. And I heard you mention that you never show your face. And I was like, why? Why does he never show his face?
I mean, he has ish in an episode, but you'd have to watch all the episodes to catch it.
That's a lot
It's,
of
it's
time.
at this point, I've been doing it for so long that it's kind of like, when you finally show the monster's face, like the movie just kind of gets less interesting. If you keep the monster in the shadows, then it's still intriguing. And
So kind of going with the whole Blair Witch Project vibe on that one.
Either way, this monster is out. Yeah, the beast has arrived. Hello, everyone.
yeah. So tell us some of the crazy guests that y'all have had on your show. I know you had the Extra Grets recently, Jared Shanklin. We've had him on before. They're a very awesome band. What's it been like interviewing these rogues?
Man, it's a very humbling experience because you realize how talented the DFW scene is. And it's very humbling because, when you think you're on the top of your game, here comes someone else that's doing it 5 times better and, is a way better interviewer or interviewee than I am. And honestly, crazy stuff that's happened. Like, honestly, a lot of the guests have been very well behaved. I did have non-starter in, and one of the members is from Fat by the Gallon, and dude literally shows up with a giant fucking joint hanging out of his mouth and a full bottle of Maker's Mark and is just proceeding throughout the interview drinking a whole bottle of Maker's Mark and still walked out after the interview like it didn't even faze him. And I was like, now that's fucking punk rock 101. But there's been crazy times at shows, man. But honestly, interviewing a lot of these bands has, like I said, just been a very humbling experience, and it really makes me feel lucky to live in a town with so many fucking awesome bands. Like had the band Sharpie on, and Dylan. I don't know if you guys know Sharpie or Dylan Potter at all.
Oh yeah, we had Dylan on. Yeah.
Yeah, he is probably one of the most intellectual people I have ever met. He can talk about anything and everything in such deep, meaningful ways. It was just awesome to be around him and kind of, I'm bumbling myself, but he made everything sound so eloquent and awesome.
Oh yeah, he's a very articulate young man. Him and Chastity Snurd from the Deep Ellum podcast, they came on one time. Real nice people. I've known them since Copper Thief. Copper Thief did several shows with my old band, did our CD release, and then we played with Sharpie and the Argonaut over at Growl, and that was fucking awesome.
Well, Sharpie's in the studio recording, or not Sharpie, Copper Thief's in the studio right now, I think, doing a new album. So I'm looking to see what Mia puts out because I do love her vocals.
Yeah, and we wish a speedy recovery for Moody Luna from Sharpie. I know she had surgery sometime recently. So best of luck in the recovery, Moody.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, man. Cancer can suck a dick.
All of them.
Yeah, there's way too much of that. Yeah, suck all the dicks.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's hitting. It hasn't been made public yet, but there's another band that I'm friends with that unfortunately the drummer is facing cancer too. So when that makes public, I'm sure you all know. But just hug your loved ones, man. You never know.
Yeah.
Well, that was a depressing segue. Sorry.
I was going to ask you, but I was like,
it's all good.
Segue.
I mean, we just met, but through the screen, big hug to all three of you.
Love.
Air hugs for
Ricky's
all.
not a big hugger. Ricky will shake your hand, but he ain't trying to touch you.
I'll hug people I know, but I don't hug new people.
Yeah, I hug my friends and especially my family.
Fair dues.
Yeah.
I hug my dog. hug my dog mainly. That's about it.
There you go. Nice setup. Follow through.
Physical touch. Weird. Don't touch me.
Yeah. Can I ask you what was like because you all are musicians and play in bands, like what's like the craziest gig you all have ever played?
Shit, how much time you got?
Well, you go.
Yeah, you know what, Ariel, you go first.
Oh, well,
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Our first tour was back in 05, I believe, or 04, sorry. We played out in Window Rock, Arkansas, or Window Rock, Arizona. And we played in this venue where there was no stage. It was just like 4 inches off the ground where we could just set drums. So we show up early. Right behind the venue is a walled off gigantic mountain. So we snuck through the barbed wire and climbed to the top of the mountain. And unfortunately, this was a Native American land. And I'm pretty sure whatever ghosts were in charge of that mountain cursed us that night, because that night I was in the middle of a long scream, and one of our people in the audience came down real hard on the top of my head and slammed my jaw shut and fucked me up for the rest of the night. A bunch of the people at the club tried to kidnap both the women that went on tour with us. Our band manager, who was also our drummer's dad, told our drummer that he was an embarrassment and disgrace as his son, and then threw a chair at him, and then locked himself in the trailer and wouldn't let us in. And then basically all of them just chased us out of the city.
No, that's fucking rock and roll, man.
Yeah, I can't tell a story after that. Mine are all lame. I don't have cool stories. We're still young and dumb.
Wait, you still got time.
Shit. Yeah, shit. This happened.
I'm not young and dumb. My band is young and dumb. We're still making
Rick looks like he's got some stories to tell. Like I can just see the 1,000-yard stare in those eyes.
He looks like a wizard that's about to take us on a quest per Captain Birdseye.
I'm just
I've had a lot of favorites. Like my entire life is favorite. Every day's my fucking birthday to me, you know. And so my favorite performance, I like to tell this story, because as a singer and singer guitar player, you end up making a lot of noise, and you have to figure out a place to make that noise where you can coexist with the world or your environment. And so I used to play guitar down all over the place and sing, not just play guitar, but sing, like I'm doing vocal regiments and shit, right? And so I'm out in front of the Deep End in Deep Ellum. The Deep End's not there anymore. It's a bar, like it was a coffee bar for a minute, but it's a bar there now. It's on the corner of Crowdus and Main Street.
It's called Rodeo now.
Yeah. So anyway, the guy that owned the Deep End had asked me to play out in front of his store. I was like, you don't understand. I'm not playing. I'm really practicing. So you do it here. So we cut a deal. And anyway, I was out there playing one day, and I got a lot of good responses. I was always surprised by that. But this family came by with a small child. This young girl was all dolled up, and I don't know what they were doing in Deep Ellum, but obviously they were having a day, you know, and they were cool parents. But you could tell the parents, the girl stopped and kind of looked up at her parents, and you could tell the parents were thinking, hey, you know, come on, let's keep going. And she was like putting her hand in her purse to grab a quarter so she could give me a quarter. And she was taking her time so that she could actually hear me play longer and make her parents wait longer. And so to me, that was one of the coolest like things that could ever fucking happen as a performer.
Aww.
That's the most awesome, fucking adorable story I've ever heard.
That is so adorable. I'm going to feed off of that one and not Dave's up there. I've
got dirty ones too. I've got dirty ones too, but I've had kids pay me multiple times while I was out just making noise on the street, and it's always a cool experience.
So I've got a story similar to that. We played a show out here in Forney. We opened up for they're actually about to play a show, the Matchbox 20 cover band. And this little girl, I guess she went up to our merch table, and my friend gave her a T-shirt. And she put on the T-shirt, and her dad put her up on her shoulders. And then they came to the front of the stage because everybody was just sitting out on the lawn having a good time. They came up to the front of the stage, and then I walked up to her, and we were like jamming and singing together. And that was like the best moment of my life, that this little girl was just so excited. And then after the show, I went and I met up with her. And she was like, I want to be just like you. You're so cool. I want to sing like you. And I was like, oh my God, this is so great. That was best. Like, my heart just exploded that night.
That's what it's all about right there, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about you, Austin? Any crazy, amazing stuff happened to you at a show?
Well, yeah. Does anybody remember the punk band Scary Cherry and the Bang Bangs?
Fuck yeah. Leslie Dean. She is such a great person.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe not after this story.
Shit.
Yes, I love stories.
They were
Bang,
headlining
bang.
the Friday night of the Deep Ellum Arts Festival. I want to say it was 2017. My wife was hosting the main stage that night, was doing the MC work. And so the tent behind the stage, like they come in. Well, Scary Cherry comes in, not wearing a shirt, just bare-breasted, which is cool. Who gives a fuck? Is drunk as fuck and proceeds to have one of her friends come in. We don't know what's going on, but the next thing we know, they are punching each other in the face. And as they're pulling them off, the friend leaves. And what we gather was that Scary Cherry's boyfriend had slept with her best friend that night.
Oh.
And then she had found out. And then once they drug her out, she proceeds to take a razor blade out of her purse and starts cutting her arms and trying to beat up the security staff at the Deep Ellum Arts Festival. The next thing I know is she's like trying to say, fuck this. My wife goes into mom mode, pulls Scary Cherry aside and just goes, look, I don't give a fuck what your fucking drama is, but you are the headliner tonight. You're going to get your ass on stage and play that fucking show. And she goes, yes, ma'am. I swear to God, she gets up on that stage and plays the best fucking set I've ever seen in my life. And literally the band's manager looks over and said, well, you wanted a punk band.
No.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely attest to that. The Scary Cherry puts on a great show when they want to. Most definitely.
Yes.
Oh, go for it.
I was going to say they've been on hiatus for a hot fucking minute.
Yeah, notice.
Is there
I
criteria to be a punk band? Because it sounds like you got to be crazy.
Nah, man, I know punk bands that are like dads. I think if you're in a pop punk band, you're either a hardcore punk member that's kind of mellowed out and had kids. If you're in a hardcore band, you're usually a banker with a lot of pent up aggression. If you're,
That's fair. I feel like that would be my avenue. Okay.
Dude,
Yeah,
there's a
there-
wonderful documentary about punk rockers that are dads. It's called I think it's called The Other F Word, and the other F word meaning family. So it like follows Fat Mike and various other members of different punk bands and having to balance being punk rock outlaws with having kids and being full of shit.
Well, have you ever listened to local pop punk legend Jared Reddick? He's got a podcast called Punk Rock Dads, and it's him and the bass player of Bowling for Soup, and they literally just talk about punk rock dads, and they bring on other bands that have kids, and so it's kind of a wholesome, kind of nice podcast about being a dad in the music scene.
That's cool.
I have not heard about it, but I now know that I have to.
Putting it on my list.
Yeah,
what
dude,
about
a lot of
metal?
folks may not realize this, but at one point, Bowling for Soup was really big.
Oh my God, I loved them when I was in middle school.
They're still doing good. They're selling out tours. It's crazy.
Yes, I just went to go see them last Cinco de Mayo. And that's where I got to hear the Vandaliers for the first time.
Oh, fuck yeah. That would have been an awesome show.
That was my gateway drug into them. They're great.
They're an awesome band. And, they they do a lot
You did
for the
it.
local scene. But I will say, they're not the most hardcore band in the world and they get a lot of shit, but they do help a lot of bands out.
Bowling for Soup or Vandaliers? I'm sorry, I missed that segue.
Bowling for Soup. Jared Reddick.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I was a little, and I didn't know this is what they did at their show. I was a tad disappointed by the show because a lot of it was like a comedic skit, but not really a skit. And then I think 20 minutes they were of their last bit of their time. They brought people on stage to do goofy stuff. And me personally, because I grew up listening to them and I never got to see them when I was younger, this being my first show to see them, I was a little disappointed because I wanted more music.
I get it.
But that's just me.
I get it because, they've got a lot of young fans now because they do the theme song for Phineas and Ferb.
Mm-hmm.
They are Jared Reddick is Chuck E. Cheese. He is Charles Chester Cheese. He's been the voice mascot for 20 years now.
Holy
which
shit.
is crazy. So this whole new group of people have grown up with Bowling for Soup, not realizing it. And he's even doing the voice for some new Nickelodeon show. So it's kind of funny that by his voice acting and stuff, he's bringing a whole new group of people into the scene.
That's awesome though.
Works for Nickelodeon. Keep them away from the kids.
Yeah, no shit.
But no,
have you met any of your idols and been like, oh man, you are not as cool as I thought you were gonna be?
Yeah, I have, and that kind of sucks, when they're kind of dickheads. I gotta say, one of the bands that I found them through the pandemic, and they kind of got me through. And so when the pandemic was over, I booked tickets to a show immediately, and they were not nice, and it kind of sucked. But then I'd rather not say because I kind of need to keep on their good side for music rights for stuff. But I can tell you who I got to meet were childhood heroes for me. I got to interview them on my show was We Are Scientists, and they ended up being the coolest fucking group of dudes ever.
That was dope. Surprise!
What about you guys? You guys ever met anybody that were dicks?
I remember everybody in the underground scene when I was coming in high school and junior high. Everybody was talking about this amazing band out of El Paso called At the Drive-In. And so I heard all that shit, and then suddenly they blew up with One Arm Scissor, and I saw them on Letterman, and they just put on this amazing show, and all the videos were it's fucking awesome. And then they broke up, and I was heartbroken. But then I heard half of them became this band Sparta, the other half became Mars Volta. So I went and saw Mars Volta when they opened for System of a Down back in 2000-ish, 2001-ish. And I met Omar briefly, and he was not happy to talk to any of us. And we were very, very sad about that.
I'm sad for you.
I'm sad.
Yeah. It's okay, because then there were other people that I was I had no idea what to expect. I met Kyle and Jack Black from Tenacious D out back over at Bronco Bowl. All I knew about them was Tenacious D, and then, oh yeah, that's the guy from Cable Guy. Yeah, I remember that guy. And they were the nicest, funniest dudes you could ever possibly imagine. So it's just, I guess it depends on the day.
I mean, I get superstars, they're swarmed by people all the time. all those kind of guys. I kind of get that. But when you're like a mid-range band, you need to fight for every fucking fan you have. Like if you piss off even one person, that could be, I mean, just from a monetary perspective of like, that's a fan that's probably not going to buy your albums again, not come to a show, not so all of a sudden that's a lot of money you could lose as a band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, most definitely, dude. I was a huge Social D fan until I met Mike Ness, and now whatever.
You are not the first person I have heard that from.
When you talk to people like they're not people, I don't like that.
For sure.
I haven't met any people any of my idols. I haven't met them yet. And quite honestly, I'm probably not capable of handling the emotions that are going to come with how excited I would be meeting my idols. I know I joke around all the time, but I love Kelly Clarkson. And I swear to God, if I meet her, all I would do is cry in front of her.
I would do the exact same, to be honest.
That's all I would do. And be like, we should be best friends. Can you sing my song?
Every now and then there is a flip. Every now and then there is a flip side. I met Dimebag and I thought that he was going to be a dick, but he turned out to be one of the nicest, funniest dudes like ever. And he was so drunk he couldn't even open his eyes, but he was still just such a kind-hearted dude.
That's like Vinnie Paul when I met him at when 97.1 was doing like the Freak at Starplex.
Mm-hmm.
He took the time to literally, I was drunk as shit, but he still took the time to take a photo with me and chat for 2 minutes. It's that to me is a sign of he is the top of his game and took the time to just sit with the random ass fan. That to me is a sign of a solid person.
Oh, yeah. And you have a kind face, so I would definitely stop and talk to you if I was of any importance.
Except for when your
my wife
glasses
says
are.
I'm the most non-threatening person ever, and then you put a golden doodle by my side and people come up to me.
There. Thank you very much, Austin, for that segue, because Austin loves dogs. And I don't know if you know this, but we all fucking love dogs. But Austin loves dogs so much that he's willing to do fundraisers for them. Tell us about that.
Okay, so this Saturday at the Deep Ellum Dog Park, also known as the Barry and Nino Dog Park in Deep Ellum, we are doing a May 4th, May the Woof Be With You adoption event. It is going to be done with the DFW Humane Society, Urban Paw, Upper Paw, SoFetch, and the Deep Ellum Foundation. The adoptions are free. We are doing same-day adoptions with a reference. And also we will be giving free treats. There will be a Star Wars dog costume contest where you could win 10 days of free boarding from Urban Paws. It's going to be a great event. It's going to benefit. Hopefully we'll get some dogs adopted, but we are doing the Deep Ellum Dog Days quarterly. The next one will be in July. And that one will have free shots provided at Patagonia here in Deep Ellum.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
Here's the event page on the screen.
Yeah, I think I sent that in. Also, there's an Eventbrite link that I think I sent y'all. And that one, you can get tickets. There is no tickets. It's just a way that we can monitor how many people would potentially show up. So we know how many dogs to potentially bring. So definitely come and check it out. It'll be a great event, great time, great people. And if you live in the Deep Ellum area, it's a great way to meet some neighbors.
Again,
Do you have
no
a favorite
people.
breed?
Sorry?
Do you
What's
have
your
a
favorite
favorite breed of dog?
All dogs are amazing except for Chihuahuas. They're assholes. But no, man, I love Chihuahuas too. But no, all dogs are amazing. There are no bad dogs, just really shitty people. So in my opinion, there is no bad dog, man. It's how you raise them and how you treat them.
Hell I grew up with
Yeah,
huskies.
there's a real bad stigma. There's a real bad stigma surrounding pit bulls, and I think that's bullshit because I've met some of the sweetest pit bulls in the world that have sweet masters to go along with them.
It's true. I mean, have you noticed that it seems like every generation has one? Like for the boomers, it was Rottweilers. They went after like my granddad was telling me that like German shepherds were stigmatized in the like 50s and 60s and stuff. So I think it's like every generation they kind of go after. Oh, there's my pup. Yeah, that's Ruth.
Hey, puppy.
Hi, Ruth.
Is that a terrier?
Nah, she's a golden doodle.
Ah, okay.
She's only golden on the inside.
Yeah, man. She's her mom was a black poodle. Dad was I think the dad was a golden retriever. Who knows? As far as I'm concerned, she's just 100% good girl. So.
Right. Yeah. You can tell.
But she's the sweetest dog ever. If you listen to my show, she's allowed to run free while we're recording. So there will be times where literally she is jumping all over guests and getting in their face. And I find it hysterical. I know some people don't. Like I had one guest that was afraid of dogs. They're like, can you put her up? And I'm like, nope, that's the whole thing, man. You're going to get loved on one way or another on this show.
I love it.
Yeah, dude. About a year and a half ago, my brother rescued a Rottweiler, and by rescued, I mean he jumped into a burning building and saved it. Left the family, but he kept the dog. But he was a sweet dog, and you could see his ribs, so clearly he was malnourished, and he was just pissing on everything, and he took a huge chunk out of the side of my face. But we stuffed him with fries, and now he doesn't even want to get off the couch.
Is that why? Is that why you're not on camera? Because you've got like a whole Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face situation going on, or?
Oh, he's missing half of his face, but we don't talk about that. That's why he works at toll booths. You only need one side of your face.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
and thank God it's all digitized now.
There's an opera, and I'm a phantom, and I can play the organ.
Well, you're officially now my new favorite disfigured person. So.
I'm here to entertain and inform.
That's true.
Now, there's not going to be like a bunch of loud music being played alongside these helpless dogs, is there?
No, and I've been to several events at bars that are for dogs, and they will just have music blaring or have like full live band drum kits going. And with shelter dogs and adoption dogs, that's not really what you want to be doing. Like my dog's cool. I've taken her to concerts and she was a puppy, so she's used to it. Most dogs have not had that socialization effort. So I feel like to me, it's important that we don't add music to this event because we do have shelter dogs. We don't know what their temperament is completely. I don't want to have, even though I'm a big proponent of live music, I just don't think it belongs in an adoption.
And you want them to get adopted. So if they're like scared of certain things and they don't know how to react, what happens if they do? They're going to act differently than when you take them home anyways. But I mean, you don't want to.
Yeah, who's going to adopt a dog with headphones?
Me, because that dog probably listens to some awesome shit. So.
Right?
But
This is Hipster Cat. He listens to NERD. He's a cool dog.
Well, I will say though, to please guys, definitely come along. It's going to be a great event. My goal is hopefully one dog gets adopted. If one dog gets adopted, it will be all worth it. There is no ticket prices. There's no, we're not trying to raise money. We're just trying to get dogs a good home. So at this point, come along and, maybe you'll meet your new best friend. Who knows?
How many of these have you done before?
This will be our first one with the Deep Ellum Foundation. Me and my mother have done events for Lone Star Bulldog Rescue before. And growing up, I've just always done like shelter volunteering work and stuff like that. So who knows? Okay, Eric, what's going on? The Stars.
Sorry, Knights almost scored on us.
Okay, what's the score now? We need like a little recap, yo.
Oh, okay, sorry. It's 3-2. We're winning. We are in the third. I think we have like 11 minutes left, and it's on commercial.
Okay. All right.
If there is a score, please interrupt us.
Okay, don't make faces. Got it.
Yeah, that is the one thing that I do love is like punk and hockey seem to go hand in hand, and so does ska and hockey. So it's like a great little genre mashup right there.
I am hell bent to get one of my songs played at a Stars game. I think it'd be perfect.
Have you applied to do the play on the plaza?
What? No, that's a thing.
Yeah, so you know how they do local music on the plaza before games?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you had to be a cover band.
Nah, I've had several friends that are like Loyal Sally, Uneasy Pilgrim did one, Chicago Vega played one. Yeah, they do. I fucking hate, they did start doing covers a bit more after COVID, and no offense to cover bands, but like, I don't know, man. I really don't go to see cover bands. Like, it's just not my thing. I respect them. You know, I know that they're a thing, but I don't know. When
What if the covers are so obscure you don't realize they're a cover band?
That's true. One of my friends did a show, and they do Hank Williams' "I Saw the Light." They do a cover of that, and somebody was like, "Oh man, I love your song. When are you going to put that out?" And they're like, "That's a cover. We're not going to do that."
It's not ours.
It's okay. Fucking Metallica was a Diamond Head cover band for years until somebody called them on it, and then they were like, "Oh well, I guess we've got to start writing our own music."
Funny note is that Mudvayne was a Metallica and Pantera cover band before they started writing originals.
Wow, that's cool. That's a fun fact.
Dude, I just found out that they got that bassist, that amazing fucking finger plucking bassist
Ryan?
from a jazz band. Yeah.
Yeah, he still plays with the jazz band. They play a lot of small gigs in Central Illinois. Ryan, like, it's funny because like where I came from, like Mudvayne are like they're like the Pantera of like the Peoria kind of scene. So it's it's like in Dallas, everyone has a Pantera story. In Central Illinois, everyone has a Mudvayne story, or an REO Speedwagon. That's like the two bands from the area. So it's kind of funny, but Ryan used to like play bass with all these like college jazz bands, and they were fucking phenomenal, man.
What is Peoria's opinion about Hell Yeah?
They're supportive. I think they were a little not upset, but they were sad that Mudvayne broke up kind of for a long time. And then I don't know. I think Hell Yeah ran its course. Obviously now with the passing of Vinny and that, but I think there's only so much you can sing about. I don't know. For me, like, Chad's a great vocalist when it comes to like Mudvayne and everything, but like for me, Hell Yeah was way too like bro rock, if that makes any sense. It just felt
agreed
commercial.
Completely.
It was just trying to sell records at that point.
Chad is a cool dude, but he always struck me as a more artistic dude and less of a frat boy. And so it always was kind of weird to hear him do frat boy metal. And it's like, oh, come on, man, you're deeper than that.
Well, like, I know there was like a big push because Vinny wanted to do something, because his idea was he always wanted to reform Pantera and not whatever the bastardized version of Pantera is out now. So I think, which, no offense, love you, Metal Dave. One of my friends is their photographer, so I've got to say nice things about him. But
you heard that? Gotta
say nice things because he's my best friend. But yeah, fuck the new racist Pantera or whatever the hell they're doing now. But to me, Hell Yeah was just a cash grab. That's all it was.
Well, hell yeah, it was.
We've been trying to get David Parada on here, Metal Dave, for a while, but damn, that dude is busy. And his price
David Gonzalez,
tag is not low.
man. Yeah, David Gonzalez is fucking working his ass off. I remember when he started taking photos because me and him were working on the same show at the time, and we needed continuity photos done. And he was our guy, and then just would slowly take photos. And then before we knew it, he was like taking press photos and everything. So like, it's amazing. Gas Monkey definitely made a lot of our careers.
Oh, Gas Monkey.
I miss that garage sometimes.
I actually met Richard Rawlings and his crew. We went on a cruise with him because my husband and I we both worked for A1 Air, and they were sponsors, I guess. And
Yeah, they put it. Thank you so
fun.
much. Thank you, because you guys put air conditioning into our garage. Fuck me. That made all the difference.
Well, I didn't, but you're welcome. I don't work for them anymore. Neither is my husband. My husband's a plumber, but
okay.
They do focus mostly on AC, but those boys are fucking wild. And Jeff would love to tell you all this story, but his nephew, apparently I was trash, like chocolate wasted, and I was doing some sort of dance or whatever, and he wanted to lift me in the air like Dirty Dancing, and I was like too fucked up to even do that. But there's like all these stories. They're fucking wild. But I kind of miss Gas Monkey. I didn't. Amplified was okay. And then
yeah. The restaurant and bar and grill thing was always weird to me. Like how he marketed all that, but like working on the show was a mixture of fun and dread going into work every day, because he was, by the end of the show, Richard, my NDA's up so I can say all this shit, but Richard was a fucking dick at the end of it all. Like he was a borderline sexual predator.
Yes,
so
yes. He puts off that vibe too.
Not going to come as a surprise to most.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not a surprise when you openly cheat on your wife every fucking day and like flaunt it. Usually you're a fucking dick bag.
He's got this arrogance he exudes off of him, and then people that are around him want to be like him, and it oozes into their personalities, and you're like, that's icky.
They just weren't nice people either at the end. Like the film crew was great. Like I had a lot of good times with the film crew, and we were like a tight-knit family, and it's almost like trauma bonding. Like it's one of, whoever said that, I agree. But it's like trauma bonding with the crew. We had to work with a tyrant and try to make the best product we could to keep our jobs.
That's funny because I can relate. Well, I can't relate anymore, but I could relate to that. Yeah, I'm glad you kind of got his personality firsthand, because we were stuck on a boat with them.
Oh, did you do that fucking Gas Monkey cruise or whatever it was?
Yeah, my husband got it for free. That was my first cruise ever. Yeah, we were given it because he was top producer for plumbing and field supervisor, and so we were invited on, which is really cool because I'm like, free vacation. But they're fucking bananas. And then we went on a catamaran. Is that what they're called? And somehow we got stuck on the slowest one, and they sped off, and they all mooned us on the way out.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, they're fucking wild boys.
Yeah, when at the end everybody got COVID.
Everyone got COVID.
If you need another reason to hate him, he's also a former pig.
He was.
He's a former what?
Only pussies call the cops.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, he was a cop.
What word cop?
And then he got discharged because if you notice, he wears all those stupid bracelets.
Yeah.
You actually look, he's got a really limp wrist because I guess he fucked his wrist up somehow. That's how he got discharged from the force.
So my husband basically had his hand cut off.
My cousin Matt out in California, I am okay with cops. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say my husband basically got his hand cut off and he doesn't have this, but he also did rehab with it. So I'm going to have to, I'll never see him ever again, but I'll have to, if I ever do see, I'll have to pay attention to it. Dick pic.
Yeah. And let me praise this for all your fans. Richard, asshole. Aaron, the bearded guy, nicest fucking guy.
Oh, Aaron's dope. I love him.
Yeah. So
Talked music the entire time.
yeah, he's a fucking good dude.
That was before I was in a band, but
These
he's
are all
really
people
good.
that work at
How is
Gas
it
Monkey.
being a female in a band in Dallas now?
Do what?
Like, I've always wondered this because I haven't had a chance to email or interview a female metalist, like a female in a metal band. Like, how is it? Like, is it hard? Is it like, is the scene good, or you have to put up with a ton of bullshit?
Loaded.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag of nuts. So it's really hard because I feel like everyone classifies us as metal, which is totally fine. I think we're more like a new metal, I think Breaking Benjamin, Evanescence kind of thing. So it's really hard to find proper shows where it's not all screaming all the time. To be featured in that or to join up on it, because I just feel like we stick out like a sore thumb. It's fun because I do feel like since I am female, I stick out a lot more, so people notice it. I don't know. It's a mixed bag of nuts, dude. It's sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. We have a lot of fun. I am in a band full of boys, so it's like herding a fucking bag of cats. Love them though. They're probably not even watching this, so I'm just gonna talk shit about them the entire time. I don't know. It is what it is, and we're still such a young new band, learning things and stumbling over things. I do feel like people look at me and they're like, "You look like a nice little girl to take advantage of," if that makes sense.
It does. I've noticed because I grew up in the metal scene and then switched to punk. And so I've kind of had like dealings with both. And I feel like metal fans are way nicer, like, and more respectful. Like when I go to punk shows, yes, 90% of the fan base is awesome, salt of the earth kind of people. But there's 10%, it's usually the fucking scuzz punks, and they're just fucking sexist assholes. They want to claim they're not, but they definitely are, and can tell they objectify like fuck.
Yeah. I do have to say one solid thing about our community, the metal community, or even just the music community that I've been in, which I'm hoping everyone else is listening that are in bands. Everybody's been hella supportive. They've been very supportive. They point you in different directions. They uplift you. They promote you on their posts. They promote on radio stations. There's like a lot of good, positive things with a lot of the bands in this community. So I do have to say, everybody that we've come in contact with or played with, I've never had a bad thing to say about any of them. Only good things.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. So, which I'm sure you've experienced from interviews and stuff, but everybody that I've ever encountered so far musically, they've been absolutely amazing.
That's awesome. I can't wait to come see you at a show.
Yeah, come on. I'll look you in the eye.
I'll be fucking creeped out.
I love making eye contact. I'm the president of our association, and I make eye contact with people all the time. And I made eye contact with this one girl who's a student. She goes, "I remember you. You kept making eye contact with me, and it creeped me out." And I was like, "You're welcome. Now you remember."
I just want Hagrid down at the bottom there to make eye contact with me with that sexy beard. I wonder if there's any Cheetos in there left.
She's a power vocalist, Austin Young. You would really enjoy the band.
I'm fucking, yeah. I would love to have you on the show. That would be amazing.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you guys ever
We'd
wanna
love to
roll
do
through.
it. My guitarist would flip shit. He would love to talk to you.
Yeah, we record out of Deep Ellum. Come on down.
That's not too far from us. We're in Forney. Dallas is
That's not too
30
bad.
minutes. So,
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, and we're on the east side of things, so.
yeah, y'all are a lot closer. Other part of Dallas, not so much. Fort Worth, where everybody plays, it's like an hour and a half.
That's my biggest thing. People are like, come to a Fort Worth show. And I'm like, dude, I live in Deep Ellum. Like, do you know how hard it is to get me out of this fucking neighborhood? Like, every band, I'm like, you will eventually roll through here. So I will see you at some point. kind of thing.
I try to go to a show each quarter on the other side of Earth.
Okay.
Or
Patagonia.
Earth. But yes, it's hard.
Like,
Also, it's still 3-2. We have 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the third, and it's down at our end.
Okay. Nice.
Empty
But
net.
what are
on
some
Viking.
of the best venues?
Thank you, Super Chat. Thank you for that, Super Chat.
What the
Go ahead,
fuck
Dave
just
Jarvis.
happened?
We got a
I was
super
asking,
chat.
what? Yes, thank you, Johnny. We really appreciate it. Yeah, y'all's super chats are what keep us going. So we really appreciate that. Anybody out there in the chats that feel like contributing, understand we're doing this out of our basements, which is really weird because there are no basements in Texas.
Oh. Yeah, you motherfuckers, pay up. Come on, pay. Let's do it.
Money, 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 money.
Everybody here is broke and has some form of medical bill probably due. Come on.
That's not a joke. That is fact.
The sad fact
But, yeah,
of living in America.
Solid fact.
I was going to ask, what are some of the best venues to see a punk or ska show in Deep Ellum?
Fucking Three Links. I mean, Three Links is just, you know, it is. I know somebody will come after me, but it is the most iconic venue in Dallas. Arguably, like when I see people come from out of town, most of the time they want to either go to Longhorn Ballroom, which just reopened up. I get it. Sex Pistols played there. Wait, what's going on? Come on,
Empty
you're a
net goal.
commentator.
Damn it.
Empty
28
net.
seconds. Keep going. We almost had an empty net goal. Are we going to do it? Are we going to muff it? I'm so sorry, guys.
I didn't know Longhorn was still a thing. Holy shit.
Yeah, they just reopened actually, and Hometown Hero is going to be playing there tomorrow, Charlie Crockett. So that'll be an awesome event to come see. Yeah, Longhorn's back open, but Three Links is like the best fucking punk venue. And it's not just because it's the iconic punk venue. It does have the best sound in the Metroplex. Like when I go there and see shows, the sound is fucking, I'm an audiophile nerd. And I've gone to pretty much every venue in this Metroplex. And to me, I've never really seen a bad show there. Metal shows, Reno's is always good because you will probably get punched in the face. So it's definitely an authentic, you know, biker bar metal venue. For indie, garage rock, all that kind of stuff, nothing beats Dada. Dada is an iconic venue that's been open since, I think, the 60s now continuously. So, and country music in Deep Ellum, you're never going to go wrong with 8 Airs. So those are the venues you got to check out for live music.
Stars win.
Nice.
We're just gonna fill you in. I say dope a lot, and a lot of the times it's very intentional. Dope, 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 dope. That's dope, 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 dope. That's dope. He's a pretty dope dude. 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 Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Dope, 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 dope. That's dope. Dope, pretty dope, 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 pretty dope, dope, dope. Pretty dope, 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 pretty dope, 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 dope. That's dope, 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 dope. That's facts. We're just gonna fill you in.
Oh my God. Were you talking about Kelly Clarkson when you recorded that?
Actually, Dave just took a bunch of snips and made that song. So.
Yeah, that's a Dave Jarvis masterpiece there.
So, Dave, were you listening to Kelly Clarkson when you recorded that song?
No, I was
Just say
listening
yes.
to our interview with David Conant from Arlington Music Scene. You let your game plan out all in a nice little 5-minute frame that I was able to capture and exploit, which is what I do.
I think that was the video I had written down because I was supposed to make the dope song. Failed.
Now, would you ever do that live, like with your show? Because I would
Absolutely.
I will go see your band if you promise to do that.
Absolutely. So we tried to do. I tried to take the recording and do it and walk out, before we started playing on our last show.
Yeah.
But the audio guy, I guess, wasn't paying attention. He was just chit chatting away, and I was like, "Come on, dude! Like, this is like my cue. Like, let's go."
Yeah.
Never did. I was like, "Fuck you!" It was gonna be so great, but I would sing it. I would actually perform it live.
Cool.
If given the opportunity.
There you go. Get to the next Against All Odds show to see Ariel perform. Dope.
This is dope.
Hey, fucking men, Rick.
That's facts.
Rick, what's like your backstory, dude? Like, I just got to know. I'm like fascinated by you.
What do you mean?
Did not come
I just
from
grew up
Middle-earth.
in metal. I've spray painted a lot in Deep Ellum.
Oh, fuck yeah. Are you a muralist?
No, just back in the day. I was just throwing something against the wall for you. I used to DJ on KNON way back in the day. I did the metal show in the 80s.
Fuck
I used to do a magazine called The Skull Press where I interviewed the metal bands of the day, which were like Rigor Mortis, Sedition, Pantera, you know, all those badass bands. Because those are the bands we were playing on the metal show too. You know, it was just that time in the 80s.
That's fucking rad. Wait, was there a guy named Big Spook DJing there around the time you were there?
Sounds familiar, but man, it's a lot of days ago, a lot of parties ago.
Yeah, I think he used to do like the Latin Energy show there over at KNON.
Yeah. It definitely sounds familiar. But there was a lot of different shows, you know, and really I was 100% wrapped up in music at the time and my music, and so I basically just went in, did my show, and left.
Fucking rad.
Yep. And then we did like fundraiser shows. Instead of asking for cash during the show, we would put a show together with 5 or 6, 8 bands, and you know, make up like $2,000 or $3,000 and give it to KNON and go, all's good.
Damn. Fuck, I needed you on this Dog Days event, man.
Mm-hmm.
The dog days are over.
Hey, I tell you what, you need someone
was-
to help get the word out. It's Eddie Lee of Iron Mang. You get Iron Mang on a show, and flyers like this show up the next in your DMs.
Iron Man? I'm doing that.
Oh, dude.
Let me check.
Yeah, dude. Eddie Lee, EDDY Lee. Good dude, and he will promote the shit out of whatever. He's a promotional fiend, and we love him for his addiction.
He's got so many ideas too. It's Black Sabbath.
Yeah, Black Sabbath tribute band. That's correct.
Yeah, but the next show one of the shows that we're gonna do, he's calling in some, like, so me and Ben are gonna be on there, but he's calling up some band members from like original bands and doing some songs with them. And so, fun fact, we'll be doing Cold together. So Eddie was gonna be playing bass. Joel will be on drums, Ben will be on guitar, and I'll do vocals.
Okay, wow. How about
It's gonna
that?
be cool.
Yeah.
We're
And
excited.
apparently they play Reno's here in Deep Ellum like monthly, so
Yes.
we'll have to give it a shout.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. They're all really good guys.
And
One
also,
of the great things of just like popping into like shows, you never know when magic will strike. Have you ever gone to a show where you had no expectations and a band just like magically blew you away?
yes.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, it honestly, dude, I walk like, that is one of the benefits of living in an entertainment district is I will just walk down the street and there will be a fucking show going on, and sometimes it's like the best thing you've ever fucking heard.
I'd like to be that show for somebody.
You will be.
You will be. Yeah, you will be. Probably already have been, but yeah, that's part of the experience.
Let's not forget Ariel. Remember the Diamond Jim show where everybody sang your song back to you?
Oh my gosh, I almost cried on stage.
I could feel how excited you were about that one.
Oh my God, all the feels. That was the best ever. Like, all my goals for singing have been accomplished in like one night, and I can die now. My goals in life are very minimal, and I'm very
so
simple.
Beautiful. Yes, that's why we do the shows.
It was great. I never knew that people learned my lyrics and listened to the song so much that they actually sang it with me. Oh, it was beautiful.
It was.
My husband had to walk
Ross
away
was
because he could
there.
see in my eyes I was like tearing up. I was like, this is so great. And I don't cry.
Dude, I'll be honest, I was feeling the feels that night because I was like, holy shit, this many people actually watch our show, because I could see back and I was like, dude, I know all y'all watch our show and all y'all know the words to the song. Oh, that's awesome. Twofer.
I know. So great. So dope. Super dope. Dope explosion.
So, what's like everybody's band crush right now?
How do you mean? Like me?
Like local band crush.
Oh, local?
Yeah, local band crush.
There's this band called DANK that I was really crushed on, but Iron Jaw. Band called Iron Jaw is fucking killer. Against All Odds is killer.
Thanks.
Dude, an amazing band that I think, Austin, you would really dig on, P-Town Skanks. They
fucking love P-Town Skanks, man.
All right, you know. Cool. Yeah, dude, those guys.
I'm in the ska fan. Yeah, of course I know the fucking P-Town Skanks. But
so my current one, and I love their bass player, and I told them that like 5 times the other day. Dreadland, I love them. They're wild.
I love it because y'all are giving me content, because I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to get these fuckers on.
Dreadland's good. Nigma puts on a
Dreadland,
good show.
Dreadland, for how heavy they are, they giggled like schoolgirls, and it warmed my heart during the entire interview.
Oh.
The one metal band I heard recently that blew me away was Manifest.
Yes. Oh, dude, Manifest is awesome, dude.
Who has a xylophone in metal? That was the fucking most metal thing ever. They've got this giant fucking xylophone. And I was like, first off, props for whoever loaded that up and took it away every night. But
ain't no way. If that was I'm just the vocalist, bro, and I carry everybody's equipment. If I had to carry a fucking xylophone, I'd die.
You're doing it wrong.
I don't want to talk about it. It's a sore spot for me.
So, as y'all are kind of metalheads, do you guys listen to much hardcore? Have you had the chance to check out Toxic Madness yet?
We've checked out Toxic Madness. Or am I thinking of somebody else?
They're out of Fort Worth, man. They're fucking great.
I've listened to some of their
stuff. I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm a metalhead. I have a history, but I love all music. If the music is good, I'll fucking listen to it. You know, like I like Sia. You know, you know what? As much shit as I talked about Billie Eilish, her last album actually was really good. If you're a fan of like Sarah Vaughan or Rosemary Clooney type jazz, you know.
Man, jazz.
So, hot take. What's everybody's opinion on Swift?
T-Swizzle?
T-Swizzle.
Well, I don't hate her. I think she's a very talented singer-songwriter. I don't think she has the best vocals in the world. She can't beat Kelly Clarkson, so I'm out.
She changed the NFL.
I've heard her every day since about 2009. So I understand why she's good, but I'm good on ever hearing any more of her music.
Facts.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the Eagle 97-1.
Dude, I worked at Home Depot for 3 years, so I can do without Katy Perry or Imagine Dragons or 21 Pilots or Taylor or Beyonce. I'm good on all that safe for work music.
It's funny you say that because the other day they put on a Taylor Swift channel, 3 songs in, and I walked up to my office manager and I go, please, for the love of God, put it on anything else. I would prefer literally anything else or just bust my eardrums because I just couldn't. It was just back-to-back T-Swift. And I love how she's created a name for herself and done very well. And she's amazing at what she does. They do overplay her a lot. But she does have a lot of songs, so.
Dude, I have 5 granddaughters, and
Wow.
they will lynch me if I say a bad thing about Taylor Swift at this point. Like, it is non-fucking stop every time I'm around them.
Well, so I don't feel like I'm saying bad things. I just would prefer to listen to anything else at this point.
She ain't no Madonna. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, but
Are
I
there any-
really do love what she's done. Like, it's great that she has such good rapport with her fans. She's one that truly does still continue to connect with music and connect with her people, and has made a huge name for herself. And I don't know many other artists that are in her position that has done that.
And she changed
Are there any ska or punk bands that are still making waves on the charts that you still stand behind? Austin?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the last chart breaker we had was Jer. So yes, I would say that there is some reference, but No Doubt is back on the scene, and Gwen Stefani will always be a ska god for many people. So I think, throwing it back, I can't say that they are still ska, but I think that Coachella set proved for a lot of people that No Doubt is trying to bring ska back, which is kind of nice.
I do like No Doubt. I'm just not fond of Gwen Stefani's voice very much. There's something about it that doesn't hit right, but I really do enjoy the music.
Well, like, I will say, ska is definitely making a comeback. There was a dark period. It's like pop punk. There was like a dark period for like 10 years, and it feels like now there's like a new breath of life in the genre. There's more and more bands coming out. There's more tours happening. Some of the old bands are reforming. Madness put out an album this year. So, there is stuff happening in the scene. Is it commercially successful? No. But, when was the last punk band that made a really commercially successful album? I mean, it's kind of getting to the point now where I will take the underground scene getting bigger and bigger until something does break. I think we're due for something, though. It's like, I hate to sound like that guy, like there's something in the works, but it feels like there's a lot of positivity and energy in the scene right now that hasn't been there for 12 years.
I can feel it too, buddy, and I hope it's
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of the ska soundtrack for the movie Basketball?
Fuck yeah. I mean, Real Big Fish was like my first introduction to ska, like a lot of millennials. So I feel like for me, yes, like Real Big Fish, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, like Save Ferris, like all those kind of big third wave, No Effects, Less Than Jake, all those kind of third wave kind of groups, like really put it on the map. And now what I'm noticing is they're going on tour and taking the new generation with them. Like Voodoo Glow Skulls came through town not too long ago, and the opener, Bite Me Bambi, stole the fucking show. Like to a sold out audience at the Granada, that it was Bite Me Bambi, a brand new ska band. They were the ones that everybody was talking about the next day. So to me, it's pay attention to the openers, because those are going to be the next big names in the genre.
Yes.
Pay attention to Flip and the Combined Effort too, because they're a local band that I feel like will make it one way or another. And they're all music teachers here in the DFW area, so it's kind of nice.
That's really cool.
What do you feel
I'm not a
about
music
ska adjacents like neo swing? The Cherry Poppin' Daddies and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
I mean, for me, it's a genre. It is, I get the thing when people say it's ska adjacent, but that's, yeah. I do think that they ruined the genre in a certain kind of way, because they broke off and stole the audience, took them other ways and all that. And that was the final nail in the coffin in my mind for the third wave. It's got its place, but like, I don't see big swing bands coming back. Like there's not a lot of them, and even the big ones aren't touring anymore. I do want to say it is a dead genre in a way. Ska survived. Ska bands are still on the charts yearly, but I don't think swing kind of will have a resurgence. It'll be amazing if it does. I hope, maybe the 3 Cherry Poppin' Daddies fans left are hoping for it, but who knows at this point, really. Good question, man.
Yeah.
Never thought about that, to be honest.
Yeah, I just remember back when MTV used to do the MTV News things, and Serena Altschul came on, and she was like, okay, so if electronica like Prodigy and Crystal Method didn't satiate your love for when grunge, what took up the mantle when grunge died, then ska certainly did. And it was like, I feel like both scenes kind of lived and died together right before, Korn became a thing.
Yeah. And, I wouldn't necessarily pull the ska crowd and the grunge crowd in together, maybe now more than ever. Because, when Nirvana left, there was still Pearl Jam, and Alice in Chains went a little longer and stuff like that. And, Stone Temple Pilots were still chart topping and all that. Whereas ska really did die for a while. Like grunge was kind of always in the background, and Nirvana and them always got radio play through the 2000s, no matter what. Ska never had that opportunity. When like ska went away for a while, like the radio stopped playing it, everything. It was the fans that kept that genre going, that loved it no matter what happened. They lived it, breathed it, were loyal as fuck. Grunge always had the advantage of being commercially successful, whereas ska did not really ever have that.
And I will say this to ska's credit. If you were considered a ska band then, none of them hid from that mantle. Whereas people that were labeled grunge, or even bands that were labeled nu metal, they hid from that moniker immediately. Whereas, the ska bands, they're like, fuck yeah, we're a ska band. We'll ska the shit out of you.
Real Big Fish, the lead singer. Yeah, exactly. The lead singer of Real Big Fish had a really good point. He did an interview in the late 2010, 2012, and they asked him that exact same question of like, what do you think about bands like No Doubt that like changed their style so they weren't ska anymore and all that? Why did you guys, Real Big Fish, stay with ska? And he goes, you can't hate the music that made you famous. Like you can't get away from that monocle. And I think that was kind of No Doubt's downfall in a certain kind of way, was they alienated their original fan base and kind of said, we're not a ska band anymore. And all the ska fans were like, well, what the fuck? Why do we support you? Why did we, do all this? It was like Save Fairs, Voodoo Glow Skulls, all those third wave musicians that kept the moniker, like still love it and still breathe that genre.
I have a theory to that. Is there a lot of female ska artists?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like though, as female artists, you're always having to reinvent yourself. Like if you're not progressing or moving or changing, you're just standing still. I think you can see it through a lot of musical cultures. Females are constantly having to change, but if you look like at a lot of male-based ones, they don't really have to reinvent the wheel. And I don't know why that is, but I think it's just to be seen. Like it's harder to make it as female artists than it is as a male. My husband doesn't really like to listen to female artists vocally. Yeah. And it's just his preference. And I feel like a lot of my other male friends, they like female artists, but they primarily are dominated. Their music is dominated by male vocalists.
I hate to say
also, that is also based on the scene and the music that is made, because Johnny Cash and Loretta Lynn and Tammy Wynette, they can still keep doing the same country music that they've been doing for 40 or 50 years, whereas Madonna, she had to find Babyface, she had to find Lenny Kravitz, You know, some musical fan bases are more fickle than others.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the old school country fans will always support your old school country. Whereas if you are a pop sensation, you kind of Coldplay, for perfect example. They made fucking sad, mopey, fucking indie rock for like 2 albums, but then they realized, okay, so this techno thing is actually still working. Okay, this pop thing is still working. So how can we make Coldplay into this other thing? Maroon 5 also. They also had to change with the times. So I don't think that just because you are this one thing starting out that you have to stick with it. But there are definitely certain styles of music that you can start off in the same place and end in the same place and still maintain the same amount of audience.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, you're 100% right. But, you know, I will argue that, like, the sign of a good musician is change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because it's like you hear a lot of musicians say they get sick of playing the same song, same, you know, stuff over and over again. Dave Grohl is notorious for saying he is sick of playing the early Foo Fighters stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of one of those things where, and actually I think they're playing in Dallas tonight. So hope you're having fun out there, guys. But I think, you know, for ska right now, the big band that's leading the charge is the Interrupters, and it's a female singer. And yes, she has, Amy Interrupter has, you know, definitely changed and gotten much more talented as a
That's who's
songwriter.
opening for David Grohl?
No.
The Interrupters?
No, the Interrupters next will be in town in September. They're opening for Sum 41 on their final tour.
Who's that singer's name again?
Amy Interrupter.
Yeah, I forget her name. Okay, all right. I'm pretty sure I know who they are.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're kind of ska. They're semi-ska, right?
Yeah, Tim Armstrong from Rancid actually like discovered them and put them on the Hellcat label. And
cool.
She to me is one of my most favorite musicians ever. Like her lyrics are heartbreaking, relatable, and fun all at the same time. So, you know, but to me, yes, like going back to the point of like a good sign of a musician is growing and doing different things. Looks like y'all made $10 more.
Woo-hoo!
I love you, Johnny.
You're the best, home.
Thank you, Super Chat. Thank you for that, Super Chat.
Thank you, Johnny. Super appreciate it, brother.
Hell yeah. Thank you, John. Dude, I've been wanting to ask this question for the last half hour. What is the most magical thing you saw at a concert before you devoted your life to music?
Ooh.
Who's this directed?
All right, I'll go.
You.
I'll go first. I'll go first. Okay. I saw Weezer at Edgefest 2001, and all of the sound went out when they were playing the Sweater Song. All of the sound went out, and the entire crowd of about 30,000 people sang the entire Sweater Song until the sound came back. And for some reason, you just felt like, holy fuck, there are 20 or 30,000 brothers and sisters that I'm just surrounded by. I didn't realize I had.
That is magic. Maybe you should start going last, Dave. I hate you.
Yeah. Mine was 2001 Music as a Weapon tour, and it was Drowning Pool's first national tour. And when Let the Bodies Hit the Floor came on, 8 different mosh pits started in the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago. It was the most, like that for me, I was probably 12 years old. And that to me was just like, yes! Like that was always a defining moment was when that fucking song hit. Like that for me was when I was a lifelong, just heavy music fan.
Fuck yeah, man.
Mine's not even a national act or anything. I actually snuck away to go watch a schoolmate's band. They were called the Frets at the time. They're now the News Can Wait, but no, they no longer play anymore. But I wanted to go, and they were playing at the barbecue place down the road. They were letting them do this show. That was my first local music scene, and it was just so much fun. There was a little mosh pit, and it was just maybe a crowd of 30 or 40 people that just showed up. They were all students and whatnot, and I thought it was the most badass thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's fucking rad. Hagrid, I know you got a story.
Come on, Ricky. I know you got it.
What's the question?
What is the most magical thing that you saw at a concert before you devoted your life to music?
What's the most Cheetos you ate in one night?
Ask his beard.
Magical concert? Bro, I don't know. I saw Eddie Van Halen when I was 12 years old.
That would have been dope.
Not Van Hagar.
Yeah. Then I saw him again when I was 13. But I've seen
this was David Lee Roth, Van Halen, I would assume.
This is the first record in 1978. The record came out in 78. I was born in 65, so I'm 12 years old and saw them at the very first Texas Jam. Yeah, that was pretty magical. The whole day was magical. But I've had a lot of cool stuff like that. I was at the US Festival in 83 with Judas Priest, Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue. That's the main reason I went, was to see Motley Crue. And all my other favorite bands were there, so we made a trek of it and had a good time, and saw the band Rat the night before at the Whiskey.
Rat. Oh, that's a fucking throwback.
Yeah, I saw them when they were basically unheard of. This was before the Out of the Cellar record came out.
That's so cool.
So I got a long list of shows that were fucking badass and magical. You said earlier, you asked a question about shows where you weren't expecting anything. One night I was at the Growl, and oh my goodness, now I'm going to forget the name of that band. Graveyard Witch. Graveyard Witch was the name of the band. And I wasn't really all that impressed with the name of the band, but I met the guys. I was like, hey, so it was the owner of Division Brewery over at Growl. He's like, come on, man, you got to see this band. Like, nobody was there, and they were just coming through town. So anyway, they were fucking badass. And the band was good. The one of the members, I didn't know what he played. I was kind of putting it together. Okay, he plays guitar. But no, he was the guitar player singer. And he was so drunk because we're at the Growl, which is Division Breweries, probably on his 6th free beer, you know. And dude, he could barely get on stage with his guitar and like hold himself up to the microphone. But as soon as the band hit, he was like perfect, like dead on. And the band was magic. It rained that night with lightning, dude. It was just a fucking magical night out of nowhere.
Fucking sounds magical.
I love it.
Can I ask a question real quick of like, what's a band y'all had no expectation for and then saw them and they were like the most fucking amazing thing in the world? Like, for example, mine is Limp Bizkit. I went thinking, fuck these guys, they're going to be awful. And then they put on one of the greatest fucking shows I've ever seen.
Oh, man.
Dude, Limp Bizkit actually were really amazing at one point, most definitely. And even when they got overplayed, they still played a great fucking live show. But as far as me, like a band that just surprised the shit out of me, I went to go see Seven Dust and Korn and Mudvayne over at the Verizon Energy, whatever the fuck. And I walk in, and in the middle of it is a band that I'd never heard of. In the middle of their set, they were a band called 10 Years. And holy fucking shit, 10 Years was such an amazing band. Like, so many people wrote them off as like a Tool wannabe, but dude, this dude was hitting notes that I know Maynard had no possible way of hitting. And they were just an amazing, brooding, like, I don't know. I can't even describe it. But it was just one of those things where it was just like, oh shit, I think music can sound this one way, and holy fuck, this band is doing it completely different. Wow, that is amazing. I don't think I'll recover from that. And honestly, every band after that was fucking boring in comparison.
That's fair.
So for anybody out there that really loves a good brooding, like I'd say third wave new metal band, 10 Years, The Autumn Effect is an amazing album that I really think you should check out.
Agreed.
Did my eyes deceive me? Did Ted Nugent just pop up on the screen?
No. Don't you
Yeah,
worry about
this
it.
is for Badass One in the comments. He was telling us about the this weekend at Heritage Hall. If y'all don't know about Heritage Hall is right up in Oklahoma, just on the other side of the border off 35. It's a great place to see bands.
Oh, nice. Well,
Fuck you.
I feel like that's a great segue.
How about you, Ariel?
Me?
What are you, Ariel? Yeah, you.
Dude, I'm sitting here trying to think of a band that I didn't expect to just be absolutely amazing. I'm going to be honest. I love going to shows, but I don't get to go to a lot of shows. There's been a couple of bands. So I've listened to Bush before, but I've never seen them live. And this last show that I went to go watch when they were on tour with Breaking Benjamin, they blew me away. I felt like I was watching me perform because this guy ran out into the audience, jumping around like a maniac, going crazy. And this was at Jexa. So he ran all the way out into the fucking lawn. In the
That's
heat,
a long run.
in the Texas heat. And I was like, look at this motherfucker. And he was just wailing away, doing his thing. It was a dope show. Because I was also with Alice in Chains. So
Nice. How about you, Ricky?
Speaking of unexpected performances, I have a gift for you, Austin Young. Check this out.
Just one dog makes it all worth it. Just one dog, one chance, one hope, but they find a loving hope. We can go every way, every part, every lick makes it all worth it. Just one dog makes it all worth it. Deep mellow dog days, this Saturday, May 4th. Deep mellow dog days. 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 Saturday, May 4th in Deep Mellow.
Ska lives.
let's raise the roof.
Yeah. That is
I
fucking
love
awesome.
that.
Please send me that MP3.
Sure. I'll send it to you right now.
Right now.
I'm really sad that I already submitted my show for tomorrow because I would have put that on there.
It's all right. You're very welcome. Thanks for asking.
I will say this before we head on out. One of the more magical moments that I've ever seen before I devoted my life to music was I went and saw the Chili Peppers and the Foo Fighters in 2000 over at the Starplex. And Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, jumped into the pit and disappeared, completely disappeared. Full fucking show. This is packed, fucking Starplex, 30, 40,000 people. And out of nowhere, like this plank of wood was just surfacing all over the mosh pit, which is probably a good 500, 600 people feet deep. And there at the head of it, that bases the whole field area where everybody is on lighting bonfires and jumping around like Lord of the Flies. Out of nowhere, Dave Grohl emerges on top of this plank of wood like fucking Columbus with his chest barreled high and his guitar right in his hand and, you know, with the cordless mic. And out of nowhere, he starts playing the riff for Ain't Talking About Love by Van Halen. And he plays that riff.
Wow, now.
No, it was that and he plays that riff while the band backs him up and makes the entire song happen as they sail him to the front and then to the back and then back to the front like a fucking conquering hero, and he jumps back on the stage and he plays Ain't Talking About Love with Foo Fighters. And it was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life.
Badass.
That's fucking badass.
Dope.
That's badass.
And people still have mom crushes on Dave Grohl, and honestly, I do too. And big props to Dave Grohl for giving some shout-outs to Don Darrell on the last episode that he was on Hot Ones, where he was talking about the Black Tooth Grin and saying where it came from and giving love to Dimebag Darrell. Love you, Dave Grohl.
He does do a lot of charity work. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's an amazing barbecue cook too. So I really would love to try a Dave Grohl like pulled pork sandwich. And
all right, guys, we're just gonna message him, and we're all gonna go over to his house. We're gonna do a podcast. He's gonna make us barbecue, and we're gonna do charities and get some dogs adopted with you, Austin Young, and then we're gonna have some good food on our end. And I'm going to go on a plank and sail across the sea of people.
We can get this done.
Fucking right. You're fucking right. But before that, we've got a concert calendar that we've got to make mention of right
Hell
quick.
yeah,
before we head out.
Let's go.
Fucking A. So before we head up into the darkness, Austin, you are more than welcome to hang out with us. We are just going to tell the people what is going on this weekend, man. May the 4th, dog adoption.
Let's talk about it, Austin.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't know. I thought you were just running through a whole list of events there real quick.
No, we're going to, but we're starting with you first because you're our special guest.
Thank you, man. Well, I'm going to throw out some other events too. May the 4th, the dog adoption. Please come out to Barry and Nino Park in Deep Ellum. It runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Free dog adoptions, Deep Ellum Dog Days. Also, Friday night, come on out to Deep Ellum for the First Fridays event. The band Ottoman Turks. They're like a metal country band. Will be playing. Also, Saturday night, Fat by the Gallon, the 2 Watts, and Bullet Machine are playing a double wide.
Oh, nice.
So
Fat by the Gallon. That's an awesome name.
Oh, they're fucking rad, man. They tour Germany a lot, but they're like a local band here, and they've really made a good mark on the punk scene here in Dallas.
Very cool.
Shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, listen to my show. It comes out tomorrow. New episode featuring Market Zero. So definitely give that a listen.
That's right. AustinYoungShow.com.
That is true. Yes.
Or is
on
it,
all
or
the
is it,
socials, everywhere you get your podcast from.
Is it the Austin Young Show, or is it just AustinYoungShow.com?
It is. The show is the Austin Young Show, but some asshole took the on the domain, so it is just AustinYoungShow.com.
There it is.
That's fun.
Okay. Everybody, show this man some love, because this is a good man with a good heart, and he needs all the love.
Can you tell that to my wife?
We can tell
Just
your
show her
daughter-
that we'll
Yeah,
snippet this video and send it to her.
Mrs.
Sweet.
Young,
Thank you.
your husband is awesome.
All right, what time are we at? 1:49. We'll snip it at that that moment.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Austin Young. Super appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you all
Yeah,
having
bro.
me on, and my door's always open if you guys want to come on.
I'll hit you up.
Well, thank
We'd
you very
love
much.
to be
Shit,
on your
yeah.
show.
All right, and
All
happy
right,
to
free
announce
show.
I have
Free show.
completed this show as Dave Jarvis has completed the Ridgely Room show, and we have graphics for that coming up.
Did we
But
mention
this
this one?
yeah, free show.
Free.
It does need to be on there. Yeah,
And this
we'll
one's-
Yes,
probably
we mentioned
update.
free. Free.
Free at Diamond Gems, June 22nd. We got Coilback, Creeper, Gibson Cemetery, Raid, Iron Ming, and Here for Now.
Now, I feel like that we shouldn't have to bring this up, but the reason we want this to be free is because we want you to save that money to buy merch from the bands. Okay?
Merch
This is
or-
how they make money.
Wee woo, wee woo.
We're supporting you, supporting the bands.
And if you don't want to buy
Yes.
merch, donations are always nice as well.
Buy shirts, buy shot glasses, buy the band a drink.
I was just gonna say that. I'm a
Super
whiskey person.
appreciation to every one of these bands: Coilback, Creeper, Gibson Cemetery. This raid show, I'm really excited about that. Eddie Lee there of Iron Main, and Here for Now doing another show with us. So I'm really excited about this show, everyone.
They're good kids. I really
Now,
like
I'm not
them.
real big on making predictions, but I will say if you don't see Here for Now for free right now, you're probably not going to see them for a reduced amount of ticket pricing, because
Yeah.
I feel like Here for Now will actually blow up.
They will if they keep going. Yeah, and it looks like they're going to keep going.
Just keep.
Good word, David Jarvis.
Shit,
Oh,
yeah.
that
Yeah,
wasn't for you.
Got
Sorry,
us a
delete that.
crawfish bowl there. Got us a crawfish bowl. Okay, what is this?
All right. Our
Necro
friends in
Goblicon.
Dreadland will be opening for Necrogoblicon. And by the way, Hunt the Dinosaur, one of the most amazing fucking death metal bands that Dallas ever
That's
produced.
the dinosaur.
There's
I
a
love
band
it.
named Squid Pisser. I'm sorry, that is fucking hilarious.
I love it. Altum Theater. Can't miss it. May 13th. That's coming up pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. That's next weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, how are we not more
I
excited?
think it's on a Monday. I think it's on a Monday. Right? Because the 11th is on a Saturday.
Hold on, let me look.
It is a Monday. Monday
Right.
fun day.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I can't get
So
over that.
definitely check out-
Just love
Yeah,
it. I want
definitely
that
check out our friends in Dreadland and check out Hunt the Dinosaur.
I love
Amazing band.
Dreadland.
Take your best guess. Why so serious? In the death metal band. Right there, death metal band. Take your best guess. Why so serious? In the death metal band.
This is my favorite.
Okay, name that
This is
death
perfect.
metal band at the bottom.
That's Dreadland. I got that
Awesome.
one.
Austin, a huge part of the entertainment that we derive from the show is trying to guess the death metal band name, considering the crazy spiderweb squibs that they unleash upon us that is their logo. So if you can read them, extra points to you, sir.
What in the fuck?
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
hard one. Obviously,
Yeah,
you can read
that's-
human artifacts and stuff, but
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no.
these
Come
are-
back to that.
Grown
Yeah.
mega
Okay.
dick cusher? I don't, what the fuck?
I wish you the best of luck, sir.
Oh man, now this is like a challenge. Like I have to do this now.
the funny part is we don't even know the answers. So You could guess
I forgot
it.
my
We wouldn't
computer
even
lets
know.
me zoom in. Hold on.
Think
Inherent
squid
disease,
pissers on there.
guinea pig, defecate the arches,
Did I say cartoon fragment?
imperial
I feel like
execution.
one of them. I feel like that says Imperial Execration.
Oh, that might be it. Lost decay. Man, I'm
Molested
sorry. The best band
Divinity.
name of the night is Squid Pissers. That to me is like fucking gold.
Severed Savior. Oh, Squash Bowels. I'm sure we all love Squash Bowels.
If they're not squash, could you have them any other way?
Like,
I
feel
think I
like
saw
now,
Molested
like,
Divinity.
There's squid
I feel like
pisser.
now all the good death metal band names are taken. They need to start naming them like cute things, like, but like in really morbid writing. So it's like, we love puppies, but it's in the death metal font.
Cherry lollipops.
Now, have they used all the death metal fonts yet? Are there still more of
There's
those available?
more. How are there different fonts? They all are fuzzy.
I mean, just fucking drop a thing of dominoes and you've got a new font.
If I was going to start a death metal band, it would be called Mr. Rogers Crushed Meatus.
Nope, for me it's Squid Pisser. That's the greatest fucking thing ever. I don't know why I like it so much.
How is there not a death metal band called Narrow Urethra that is just all King of the Hill based?
Well, it sounds like you got a project coming up.
Go for it, Dave. All yours. Take it and run.
Hey, all right, Austin, Ricky, Ariel, y'all are part of my band.
All right, let's go. As long as I don't have to growl. I can only sing. I have no other musical talents.
I'm just going to fart into the microphone.
I mean, you'd still be better than Metallica's last album.
Whoa, that was. I felt like
All right, Austin is officially my favorite guest that we've had on in the year and a half that I've been on the show.
I'm still jealous you got me and Motor Scooter, dude. I've been trying to get him on for like a year now.
Dude, I was really surprised that he was willing to do it, and man, what a sweetheart the dude was.
Yeah,
he's super nice.
He was been before me.
And what's more are his songs. To me, it comes, there's a lot of good people, and I enjoyed everyone that we've met here. But, when the music is good, that's, that makes it all worthwhile. And that dude has some good music. I like his band.
Oh, yeah. Very English garage rock. It's awesome.
Most definitely. So before we head on out, I would just like to say, Austin, how would you like to be remembered, brother?
Not as a dick.
This is a very quick answer.
Well,
I like it. I like him. I like him.
You definitely pulled that off tonight, bro. You are a wonderful and fantastic guest, and we welcome you back anytime you want to come back, man. Please.
Thank you, man. Always come on my show. And can I say, Rick is the most beautiful man I have ever met.
Nice to meet you, Austin Young.
I'll hit you up, Austin. We'll come on your show.
All right. Y'all have a great night, guys.
There you go. Coming up.
Nothing but love to our friends. Indiana, thank you. Arkansas, thank you. Hedonistic Punk Vatos, y'all are always a treasure to have in our comment section. Thank you.
Love you. Speaking of fans, you can never forget about those in the chat. So thank you, Dave. And thank you, Ricky.
Thank you, Javel.
Thank you, Javel. Where are you from, Javel? She does live performances, Dave Jarvis, on her YouTube show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to bring this up at the beginning because I didn't want to interrupt or anything. But maybe y'all can help me out. Maybe y'all are spiritually in tune. But okay, check this out. So I put on some shit on my PS4. All right, and I leave my PS4 controller on my nightstand. All right, it rained, but only damply. It wasn't bad or anything like that. So the next morning, I get up. All right, the shit is turned off, so I just naturally assume, okay, power shut off. I just need to plug in my PS4 into the controller into the PS4. Okay, so I tilt it slightly, and an entire shot glass of water just spills out of my PS4 controller. There's no evidence of any porridge or any fucking rain that got into my controller. So somehow, an entire shot glass of water made it into my controller without showing any evidence on top or on the sides of the controller. And now my PS4 is completely ruined, so is the controller. So everybody says either somebody snuck into my room and poured an entire shot glass of water into my controller, or fucking ghosts. So maybe some of y'all can help me out. What do you think?
Was it human in your house?
It was in my house. It was in the nightstand right next to me, where there was no precipitation anywhere around it, even though it was next to the window. But there was no moisture. There was no droplets of water on the outside of the controller. The only time that I saw moisture was when I tipped it forward, and suddenly it just started oozing water. And I smelled the water. It didn't smell funky, so nobody pissed in it or anything. Like somebody literally just poured water into my controller and left no evidence superficially on the controller.
Ricky, will you pull up what Renee said?
Okay, thank you.
Renee's got a logical explanation.
Answer. You did it in your sleep because unconsciously you want a PS5.
I don't even consciously want anything, let alone unconsciously.
I don't know. That's weird, man. I feel like there's somebody. I mean, did you pee in anybody's Cheerios recently where they would sneak inside your house and do that?
Not recently.
Yeah, because I didn't get the opportunity.
And I live way too fucking far from you guys, so I am me.
Well,
I don't know. It's really odd. I was thinking
Ricky
maybe condensation.
Yeah, it's true. And I've been working a lot of strange hours.
Yeah. Okay, just making sure I'm crazy.
You are crazy, but that's okay.
Hey, did you know about this
Thanks,
happening at Red Rock Saloon?
Nope.
Now I do.
I guess it's a place for metal bands to go play up in Oklahoma. Is it no? I think it's more like Denison.
Denison.
You know, I want to
So
say somebody
almost.
mentioned this place the other day.
We'll see that at the top. EJP Elmo Jones Productions right there. So it's the gentleman who used to book shows at the Maverick in Arlington is now booking shows up here at the Red Rock Saloon, and we wish him all the heavy metal best. Bring the thunder!
Hell yeah, we wish you the best. But more than anything, we wish the best for the May 11th show at Diamond Gems. Free show. Blow your brains out. Raid, Argonaut, fucking Rivet Head, Hedonistic Punk Vatos. It's going to be a wonderful fucking show. We're expanding. And we're going to be irritating. We're going to be irritating to the rest of Clear Channel. Because we're doing this all with our own money.
Take that, Clear Channel.
Boom. Mic drop. Walk away. Just kidding. Vermifest is another awesome show that you should catch because this is also raising money for puppies.
Yeah,
I love
was
it.
gonna tell him that. Maybe
June
contact
15th.
some of these bands next time.
Yeah. So this is going to have some of our favorites. Vane, Warhog. There's going to be Earworm. Is that Sanction? Sure.
Yeah,
And Drowning
so-
Pool.
Yeah, man. Drowning Pool, you're going to hear the amazing lead singer Dave Williams just fucking rocking the fucking place out. You never know what he's going to do.
Let's not forget Iron Man show, May 18th. They've actually got several shows coming up through
Look
the year.
where it's at, the Electric Starship Arcade.
Ooh, Haltom City.
Oh, and the date? May 18th.
May 18th.
So a couple of weeks.
Friday, July 19th, Iron Man has another show at Haltom Theater.
Black Horse?
Black Horse, Latif Kid, and then is that a
Name
band?
that death metal band. Name that pop rock band logo. I can't read
Pulse. They're a fantastic band.
Okay. There you go, Pulse.
That's right. Now the thing about these shows is that they're not free. Whereas if you go to a Blow Your Brains Out show, they will be free.
They're all free.
So just remember, when you go to a Blow Your Brains Out show, it will be free. So spend your money on the bands.
Like that one, and I got to go through these flyers to get to yours, man. That's what I'm trying to do now. Check this out. This is tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Thursday, May 2nd.
tomorrow. Go out to see Iron Man tomorrow.
A battle of the bands in Louisville.
Your court date's a day away.
Who's
Fucking love you guys in Iron Man. Wishing you all the best because the music they make is excellent. We got love Black Sabbath, and they recreate the Black Sabbath sound. It's awesome.
Love you, Eddie. And dude, I just want to say this again. Austin Young, what a great fucking guest, man.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I can't wait for next week where we will be previewing all the bands that will be on the May 11th show. So that'll be Warhog, Argonaut, Rivethead, DANK, Hedonistic Punk Vatos, and all your favorite Arlington and Greater Dallas bands that will be rocking out for free for your entertainment.
That'll be this lineup next week, and then the show next weekend.
I'm going to try and make it to the May 11th one. I've got stuff for Mother's Day that day earlier, but I'm going to try to make it out. I know half my band's missing, but at least I can show up.
Oh, just thank you very much.
A lot of people are not aware that I'm no longer a member of DANK, so I will make sure to make everybody feel as uncomfortable as possible that show.
Whoa, what? Do we need to sidebar this conversation?
No, because I actually went into detail about it like a week or two ago.
Was it on the Dreadland show?
Here it is. Sorry.
No. It was the it was supposed to be the wasn't it Maxine Wassa show? Yeah, it was that show. It happened like 5 hours before that happened, but I didn't say shit because I didn't want to bring the mood down. But yeah, it's been some weeks.
How am I the last to know?
I love your punk rock flyer.
Yes,
but you know what? I wish DANK the best of luck with everything they do. You know, 12 years is a long time, but you know what? I am at a certain place, and they're at a certain place, and never the two shall meet. So, you know what? I will continue to help them out any way that I can.
Good for you. Like your July 20th show. It's free at Ridgely Room. And we're going to be on it against all odds. Our Metal Mike man from Descent and Violent Death. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh,
dude, I can't wait. That show is going to be great. Save all your money for the bar, man. Just get drunk and enjoy the bands.
I really liked interviewing Violent Death. That one guy made me seem like I was a comedian. It was great. Oh, we got a super sticker from Punk.
Thank you, Super Chat. Thank you for that, Super Chat.
Thank you. Punk Vatos.
Hedonistic rules. We have more shows, but we covered all the important ones, I think.
We sure did.
Fuck yeah. So I just want to say, Rick, Ariel, I love the shit out of y'all, and I love Wednesdays. Thank you.
I love the shit out of you guys too.
I just remembered another show I really need to promote. It's May the 18th. Love the shit out of you too, Dave Jarvis.
So precious.
Lots of loving, babe, is also right. The kind of love you give me every night. Lots of loving, babe, is what I need. The kind of love will make a man out of me. So come on and love me. Give it everything you got. I'm a soldier, you're putting me through. I tell you, baby, before I'm leaving you. Lots of loving, baby, is what I like. The kind of love you give me every night. Lots of loving, baby, is what I crave. The kind of take me to my early grave. Come on and love me. Give it everything you got. Make that sweet love to me every night. So make that sweet love to you every night. Come on and love me.
Dope.
There it is, the Hillbilly Throwdown Float Fest.
It's gonna be great, great, great.
Yeah.
I do hope to get
So
out
wait,
there.
thank
like
you,
a-
Arkansas. Thank you, Hedonistic Punk Vatos. Thank you, Indiana. Thank you, Giant TV. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Ricky. It's been a wonderful Wednesday, and I'm going to go pass out. I love you all. I can't wait to see you next week.
Samesies, man. Samesies.